Our topic for the group presentation is Businessman's James Riady. The presentation was created by Tyler, Emily, Mariam, Courtney, Caroline, Ashley and Amber. James Riady was previously working in the American business world before becoming the chairman of Indonesia operations and chairman for the Lippo Group. The Lippo Group began as Bank Lippo before diversifying its operations to include a range of activities, including financial services, retail, property, infrastructure, and education. James Riady has faced many leadership challenges throughout his career. He is being viewed as a controversial leader by many, but remains a powerful and successful business entrepreneur in Southeast Asia. He has been recognised for his abilities in leadership through awards such as the Indonesian Property and Bank Awards in 2011. James Riady is also known for his evangelical religion and incorporating these values into his style of business leadership. Additionally, he works in developing better social conditions by promoting education. Overall, despite these challenges and hardships Riady has faced throughout his career, he continues to be a respected businessman throughout the world.
We have identified a range of broad issues and problems relating to James Riady. Firstly, leading is relevant as James Riady has led the Lippo Group through a changing business environment and has contributed to economic growth in Indonesia. Ethical behaviour and social responsibility is also relevant as James Riady made considerable mistakes in mixing politics with business. Additionally, entrepreneurship and new ventures as James Riady plays a considerable role in the Lippo Group and has created educational programs throughout Southeast Asia. Human resource management is relevant as James Riady manages over 35,000 staff members in the Lippo Group. Information and decision making as James Riady is the chairman for Lippo Group's Indonesia operations and is a deputy chairman of the Lippo Group. Lastly, planning is relevant as James Riady plays a major role in planning the business endeavours of Lippo Group. From these broad issues and problems, the three key issues that we have identified are 1. Leading, 2. Ethical behaviour and social responsibility, and 3. Entrepreneurship and new ventures.
Fiedler's contingency model, created by Fred Fiedler. The theory states that successful leaders strike a balance between their leadership style and the demands of a situation. It incorporates three contingency variables. First, quality of leader-member relations refers to how the group supports the leader. Second, degree of task structure refers to tasks being clearly explained. And third, amount of position power refers to how the leader uses power towards workers. Different situations and leadership styles require changes in these variables to ensure that successful leadership occurs. Fiedler believed that a successful leader is able to find a situation that suits their leadership style, which will enable ongoing leading in a business. James Riady relocated from the American business world to Indonesia to become a significant leader in his father's business, the Lippo Group. Riady altered his leadership style to suit the situation, which involved different business standards and a different culture. This enabled him to become a successful leader within the company. House Path Goal Leadership Theory. This theory was created by Robert House and focuses on how leaders create effective pathways for workers to achieve goals. The four major path goals are directive leadership, ensuring employees know what is expected and providing directions. Supportive leadership, treating employees as equals and being approachable. Achievement-oriented leadership, creating challenging goals and focusing on ongoing performance. Participatory leadership, involving workers in decision-making and tasks. This leadership theory focuses on the leader identifying the situation and choosing a path goal that best suits its needs. James Riady's leadership style can be linked to the path goal of supportive leadership, as he is known to be warm, engaging, energetic, and inspiring. Additionally, he also shares his religious values with the business and uses this as a threshold for moral standards for supporting employees. Vroom-Yago Leader Participation Model involves leaders choosing the best method of decision-making that best suits the situation or problem. A successful leader should be able to implement the best decision method from the following. Authority decision. Group participation is minimal and the leader makes the decision and communicates to the group. Consultative decision. A leader makes this decision after asking employees for input. Group participation may occur individually or in a meeting. And third, group decision. Everyone participates in making the decision and a course of action. In this model, no decision-making process is superior to another. Instead, a successful leader must choose which suits the problem or situation at hand to maximize advantages and minimize disadvantages. James Riady continues to be involved in nation-building projects throughout Indonesia focusing on social welfare. The company continues to sponsor programs throughout Southeast Asia whilst consulting with local communities and within his own business to implement the best strategies.
The key objectives to be gained from the issue of leading is in relation to other businesses and organisations throughout the business world. Businesses can follow the leadership style of James Riady based on the explained theories to improve growth and efficiency within their internal structures. The key theory that will be implemented for the action plan is the House's Path Goal Leadership Theory.
The suggested action plan for businesses to successfully implement House's Path Goal Leadership Theory can be split into short, medium, and long-term goals. Short-term goals rely on the responsibility of management. They should set goals for employees to follow. This will involve all staff time and developing initial costs for implementation. This should be achieved within 3 months. Next, medium-term goals also involves management. Management should solve any issues that have arisen in achieving the goals throughout short-term plans. Again, this involves staff time and assessing the costs that have occurred. This will have a deadline of 6 months. In the long term, all staff in a business should be involved. This includes involving all members in continuous goal implementation. It will include all staff, time, and ongoing costs. The deadline is 1 to 5 years.
There are many theories relevant to ethical behaviour and social responsibility. Firstly, ethical dilemmas can occur when a situation arises where there appears to be no ethically correct action. The individual involved must rely on their own beliefs and values to make the best decision. Managers especially face a range of ethical dilemmas in decision-making within businesses and organisations. These areas include discrimination, sexual harassment, and conflicts of interest. James Riady is from an ethically controversial family and business conglomerate, which has led critics to viewing him in an unfavourable manner. This is strongly linked to the ethical dilemma Riady faced when he became involved in American politics, which links to a conflict of interest between business and politics. In 2001, James Riady was found guilty of a conspiracy to defraud the US, which was linked to monetary contributions to Democratic politicians' campaigns. Riady paid an $8.6 million fine and has since said that he will not mix politics and business in the future. Secondly, there are numerous factors that influence ethical behaviour of those in the business world. It is important for both employers and employees to be aware of these influencing factors when making decisions. There are three major influence factors are: 1, the individual. Personal values, ethics, and needs will contribute to ethical behaviour. 2, the organisation. Unethical or unsavoury employees should not be part of an organisation, and rules and procedures should be implemented to ensure a culture of positive ethics is created. 3, the environment. Businesses and organisations are influenced by external factors such as competing businesses, government laws, and expected social norms. James Riady can be seen as being considerably influenced by these factors. His personal values and needs played a significant role in his decision to become involved in American politics. Since this time, he has admitted he made a mistake in mixing politics and business. He has placed a focus on how he can re-establish a good level of ethical behaviour. His personal family values played a role in this, as his father's value in business led him to joining the Lippo Group and helping to lead it to success. Riady has also been influenced by his external environment as he continues to see a growing social need in Southeast Asia. This has led him to contributing largely to this community through educational and religious endeavours and by establishing a good social responsibility throughout this community. Lastly, all organisations are expected to uphold a level of social responsibility through their operations. These responsibilities occur within interactions with elements of the external environment, for example, politics and welfare. In this case, James Riady exhibits social responsibility through his continual endorsement of education. The family-run private education foundation has approximately 40,000 students benefiting from these services and is the largest in Southeast Asia. In addition to this, Riady's Polita Harper Education Foundation demonstrates social responsibility by funding local Indonesian schools and a training college for teachers. Furthermore, the Lippo Group displays a genuine concern for social welfare by being involved in nation-building projects in Indonesia. Corporate social responsibility is defined as an obligation of an organisation to act in ways that serve both its own interests and the interests of many external stakeholders. Riady had a role in aiding political change in Indonesia, actions that have seen Indonesia transition to be more democratic and open. However, these actions also highlight the challenges faced by organisations when becoming involved in social and political issues. In Indonesia, large businesses generally prospered better through a close relationship with President Suharto, who had differing views to what Riady was guiding the country towards. By involving the Lippo Group in these social and political issues, similarities can be drawn between the socio-economic view of social responsibility and the Lippo Group. One of the most prominent arguments in favour of incorporating this view being the improvement of a business's public image is strikingly relevant to James Riady. With prior political links proving to be problematic for his image, there is no doubt that Riady's contributions to education and social campaigns have had a continual positive impact on his image, with even critics praising his promotion and development of education. The continuation of these current projects and the development of new ventures involved in social political welfare projects would continue to be advantageous for the Lippo Group. Furthermore, James Riady and the Lippo Group have adopted a proactive social responsibility strategy, which involves meeting all criteria of social responsibility. These criteria involve taking preventative action in avoiding adverse social impacts caused by company activities, and anticipating and leading the identification and response to emerging social issues.
The growth of positive behaviour and social responsibility by James Riady can be implemented as objectives by other businesses and organisations throughout the business world. The key theory that will be implemented for the action plan is social responsibility strategies. Business and organisations can follow the continued social responsibility activities of James Riady to continue to have a positive influence on the external environment. The suggested action plan that can be implemented for social responsibility strategies involves short, medium, and long-term goals. For the short term, in 1 to 3 months, management can create a socially responsible project. This requires management, staff, time, and creating a cost plan. The deadline for this is 3 months. In the medium term, the 3 to 12 months, management can delegate tasks throughout the organisation to implement projects. This requires all staff, time, and initial costs. The deadline for this is 6 months. In the long term, 1 to 5 years, all staff ensure the project continues to grow and reach greater goals. This requires all staff, time, and ongoing costs. The deadline for this is 1 to 5 years.
Types of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship can be defined as an individual that is dynamic, creative, and risk-taking. This behaviour results in the development of new opportunities for individuals and organisations. The nature of entrepreneurship is that individuals and organisations must be ever-changing at a quick pace. In a highly successful business environment, it relies on entrepreneurship. There are various types of entrepreneurs, including technopreneurs who are involved in high technology industries, social entrepreneurs who run social enterprises that are driven by community needs rather than for profit, and entrepreneurs who innovate change within large organisations. James Riady falls under two of these categories, entrepreneur and social entrepreneur. As a social entrepreneur, he has portrayed these qualities through his impact in Southeast Asia, demonstrating his evangelical Christian values he brings into the business. The Riady family's Pelita Harapan Education Foundation also funds thousands of Indonesian local schools and a teachers' training college. The Lippo Group continues to be involved in nation-building projects in Indonesia, with the concern for social welfare and minimal focus on profit. As an entrepreneur, James Riady has assisted in guiding the Lippo Group through Indonesia's evolution towards a more democratic and open society. His leadership has been recognised to reflect the rapid local growth of the Lippo Group. Characteristics of an entrepreneur: internal locus of control, belief that they are in control of their own destiny, self-directing, and like autonomy. High energy level: entrepreneurs are persistent, hardworking, and willing to exert extraordinary efforts to succeed. High need for achievement: entrepreneurs are motivated to accomplish challenging goals, thrive on performance and feedback. Tolerance for ambiguity: entrepreneurs are risk takers, they tolerate situations with high degree of uncertainty. Self-confidence: entrepreneurs feel competent, believe in themselves, and are willing to make decisions. Desire for independence: entrepreneurs want independence. They are self-reliant and want to be their own boss and not work for others. Action-orientated: entrepreneurs try to act ahead of problems. They want to get things done quickly and do not want to waste valuable time. As a leader, James Riady has been described as warm, energetic, engaging, and inspiring. He demonstrates his high need for achievement through his success and was honoured in 2011 for his leadership abilities at the Indonesian Property and Bank Awards. Regardless of his many challenges, James Riady has continued to adapt to the change in the business. New venture creation: to pursue the process of entrepreneurship and the start of new ventures, an individual must have good ideas, passion, and the courage to give the ideas a chance. Individuals and organisations must also be prepared to meet and be skillful in the testing of strategy and competitive advantage. The Lippo Group now has over 35,000 employees across Asia, expanding the operation of the property, financial, and medical services, and also media businesses. As chairman of the Lippo Group, he has helped guide the organisation through Indonesia's transition into a democratic and open society. The Lippo Group has become the largest private education foundation in Southeast Asia and has almost 40,000 students as beneficiaries.
The entrepreneurship and new ventures exhibited by James Riady can be used to create objectives for how others in the business world operate within their own internal structures. The key theory that will be focused on for the action plan is new ventures creation. Similarly to the work of James Riady, businesses and organizations can start new ventures that bring to life new products or services to grow and further their businesses' endeavors. The suggested action plan that can be implemented for new ventures involves the short-term 1 to 3 months, the responsibility of management, and the task is to create an idea for a new product or service to be offered or created. The resource required would be management, time, and developing cost, and the deadline is 3 months. The medium short-term 3 to 12 months, the responsibility of management is to make the product or service available to external stakeholders. The resource required is all staff, time, and assessing cost, and a deadline of 6 months. Long-term 1 to 5 years
responsibility of all staff is to receive feedback and ensure the product service is profitable. If not, look for areas of improvement. And the resources required are all staff, time and ongoing costs, and deadline of 1 to 5 years.
As you have seen, James Riady is a successful leader and entrepreneur in the business world, despite the ethical challenges and dilemmas he has faced. The skills and strategies that he has used to lead his business to ongoing success can clearly be used by other businesses and organisations to grow and further their business operations.